Here's Garrett coming up the south slopes of Harvard. We're on our second day attempt. rainGod made it up yesterday. This is physically incredibly demanding climbing. Technically, it hasn't been hard. Looking up here toward the summit, we're hoping to find the ridge trail soon. Well, here we are. We did find the ridge path of Harvard. Pretty happy to find that. I'm guessing we're around 13,800 feet right now in the Sawatch Mountains, just outside of Buena Vista, Colorado. Garrett found the trail too. This is what it looks like to sit and eat a Cliff Bar just below a summit ridge. You can see Columbia there, cast in her 3,000-foot shadow into the valley. Got up there with the rainGod a couple of years ago. Over there we have Yale. Very steep mountain, although not particularly technical.
Blueberry crisp or crunchy peanut butter.
Over here we have Mount Cliff Bar. You can choose for yourselves at home.
I'll go blueberry crisp.
Back here we have large mass of mountains west of the Sawatch. Those might be...
Oh yeah, frozen.
Those might be the Elks maybe, I don't know.
Is that still on?
Alright, little hands and feet climbing through talus and snow. Here's Garrett coming up through our ice route of extremeness. Seemed like the most direct route. Ice is still pretty slick up here. It'll soften up later. Coming up on a massive cairn. Picked up the trail again after that slope climb in the ice. I don't know who builds these cairns above 14,000, but I really like to thank them. Someday hopefully I can. And this is hands and feet over talus just below the summit. I guess I accept it if people don't call this climbing because they think that's technical climbing, but we got to come up with some name for it. I think it's climbing. Garrett finishing up his last little crack climb. He chose a better crack climb than I did to get to the top of Harvard, but anyway, we did it. Number 8 for Mr. Hudson. Number 28 for me. You can see the ridge route. I don't know. I might give this a 2+. If Blanca's a 2+, I think this might be the 2+ as well. Frozen Lake down there. That was thawed out yesterday. Here's the crack I came up to get to the summit of Harvard. Just wanted to document this. Probably doesn't look like too much on film, but for an acrophobe, pretty proud of that. Little panorama film here from the summit of Harvard. 8 a.m., 5 after. Pretty sure we're the first summit group today. We ought to be. Got out of the tent at 4 a.m. Camping at 11:01. There's a climber coming up not far behind us. Can't see him right now. Oh, there he is. Right in the middle of the snowfield. Picking his way through a route we did not take. Skirted to the side of that snowfield. Actually, it looks bigger up here than it did down there, I think. And there is the summit of Harvard. See this climber coming up the final, very technical, I think, for a Cat 2 portion of this route. He strikes me as a fairly accomplished climber. He has been visible. Looking out his route, as we all do on this climb. Middlebrook and Ray Dreyer both told us to stay to the right side of the summit ridge during the ascent, and I think that's exceptionally good advice. What's your name? Where are you from?
Joe Thrash, Texarkana, Texas.
Texarkana, Texas. No way. I don't think I've ever seen a Texan on a 14er.
You're kidding.
I probably have, actually, but yeah. Well, welcome. I mean, you look great coming up. You're quite an alpinist, so.
Well, I'm about at my limit, so I'm glad this is the top.
Yeah, right. Have a great day.
Where are y'all from?
Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
So there she is, Mount Harvard, one of the twin monsters of the Salwatch. We're on our out-hike after a successful summit. Here's the ridge between Harvard and Columbia. Met two different people today climbing up after us on Harvard who say they're going to take it across to Columbia. And there's Columbia.